What's going on, guys? John with the ProCut, and I'm out here in my gardening site, and today we're doing a little cold composting. I have a compost bin in my kitchen that we keep all of our kitchen scraps in. Now, for this method of composting, it doesn't matter, meat products, whatever. Everything is fair game, because here's how I do it. All right, so with cold composting, you just dig a hole in your garden bed, and then you go ahead and you pour in all your kitchen scraps. Even some paper towels is okay too, because it's paper, it's all biodegradable. And you can see I got avocado skin in there, eggshells, some tomatoes that were going bad. And then what I like to do before I bury it is I take and use my shovel and chop everything up real good. And then after I have it all chopped up real good, then I simply bury it. Now, with it being buried, you're not going to really have an issue with animals wanting to come in here if you have, meat scraps and whatnot. And you can see there's a worm. So they're already, I've got that bed down there is pretty well good already. And so now I'm working on this second bed. And it is amazing how quickly the compost and the worms and the microorganisms can take and turn this crappy clay soil into something nice for gardening. Bags we get, they are compostable bags. But I still don't like to put it in the hole. I'd rather, throw it in the garbage. All right, thanks for watching this short gardening composting video. And I'll see you on the next one. And maybe I'll add some garden tour to this video here and show you a little update of what's growing on. What are you doing, Donovan? You being naughty? Sit. Sit. Good boy. So in the top row up next to the greenhouse, I've got a mix of onions in here. There's all different varieties of onions and shallots, and they're all doing pretty well. Up here is my iris bed. I also have some different bulb flowers. I've planted some shallots between these two flags here, and none of them are coming up yet. But we had a clove of garlic that was starting to sprout, and so I planted all the cloves of garlic. And so we've got a bunch of garlic coming up here, which is pretty cool. My little prickly pear cactus patch will be coming back to life here shortly. I get a lot of flowers and a lot of small fruits on here, but I don't believe they've been big enough to be edible yet. So I've got different plants, vegetables, flowers, fruits all over the property. So let me show you this next bed over here. I've got 3 small strawberry plants here, one of which is doing poorly, but hopefully it'll survive. And then down here I've got some asparagus. There's 4 of those, and there's some more daffodils. These are kind of fancy ones. And I got more daffodils ready to bloom out over here. My 3 plum trees appear to be all doing very well. They've blossomed out. This was the first one to blossom out. It's the methyl plum. It's kind of a little bit more protected over here next to the studio. And then over here, I put a snow pea in the ground underneath of this tree, just as a test. We'll see what happens. The last plum that bloomed out was the Ozark Beauty. And then the Santa Rosa bloomed out very well. So we've got more daffodils here. Donovan's enjoying himself this morning. I've planted a pomegranate tree, but so far I'm not seeing any signs of life on it. That one may have to get returned to the store under warranty. Same with this hardy Chicago fig. Well, actually, there you go. I'm starting to see the first sign of life on this fig. That leaf is greened up and getting ready to come out, so that's a good sign. One of the wife's peonies is getting very big already. She's excited about that. Those are her favorite. Got some tulips here that are starting to come up. More daffodils there below the greenhouse. Got a Montmorency cherry. The leaves are starting to come out on that. And I planted a bunch of strawberries around the base of it, and they're not doing too well. There's one good one there and one over here, and it looks like I may have lost all the other ones. Down here I've got my blueberry shrub, which is doing really well. No blossoms yet, but the leaves are coming out real good, and I think actually these are blossoms here on the end. Then I've got a black-cap raspberry that I transplanted from the property. It was just wildly growing due to probably bird droppings. I planted a couple other blueberry or raspberries in here rather to see if they'd grow. I got something popping up here. I'm not sure if that's just weeds or if that's one of them raspberries already. And then I've got a heritage raspberry that I got from the store and planted here, and it's starting to sprout out leaves, doing well. And Donovan says to smash that super thanks button. He needs some dog treats. Over here we've got more tulips coming up. Daffodils bloomed out with more to come. Another iris bed. A few more daffodils there. I don't know what kind of tree this is. It was just something I transplanted over here. Kind of resembled a crepe myrtle, but I think it's just something wild. I transplanted a big blackberry plant here. I'm not seeing any life on it yet, but the skin is still green, so I'm kind of hopeful that that'll come back. I've put some cuttings in the ground in a few places. Some of them are looking pretty good, some of them aren't. Some more strawberries here. Again, a few look like they're doing okay, and a few have died back, it looks like. And then here's another cutting that I put in the ground, and this one looks decent. There's some leaves coming in on it. I can't remember if that was a mulberry or a plum. And then I transplanted this, some sort of wild blackberry variety. I can't remember the name of it. I did happen to see it when I was looking stuff up. And then I've got another little black-cap raspberry that I transplanted that's coming up in here. 2 more cloves of garlic here that are going to be coming up. And then I've planted some raspberries along here. Just grocery store raspberries that were going bad. And so I just moved some dirt to the side and plugged them into the ground there. And then lastly here I've got another snow pea that I put in the ground below this little living fence line. So in the greenhouse we've got some black crim tomatoes that are doing really well. Basil, mint, poinsettia. Got some more black-cap raspberry, acorn squash, little sweet peppers, some Roma tomatoes. The kiwis are looking good, and these are actual normal kiwis like you would see in the grocery store, where I do have a hardy kiwi vine outside that's doing well too. My lemon tree is getting more blossoms on it after that me bumping it around and the frost losing all the blossoms. Now it's got more blossoms on it. Some pak choi, marigolds, nasturtiums, peppers, broccoli. Now 2 of these broccolis have I believe this is called damping off, and they get, I'm not sure exactly what happens to them, but one of them is doing all right. Bunch of onions doing well. Over here, some more black cap raspberries that are coming along. Some Brussels sprouts. These are all different varieties of tomatoes. They started coming up good, and then it got really hot in this greenhouse and burnt a bunch of them. The blueberries, 2 of them are looking good. 3 of them not so much. Carrots are getting bigger. 3 out of the 4 bananas are doing well. And then I've got 5 mangoes that have sprouted above ground, which I'm super excited about that. All right, guys, so thanks for hanging out with me around my garden and greenhouse this wonderful Sunday morning. Get out there and grow something for yourself. Don't rely on the grocery store to provide all your food. It's getting more scarce and more expensive as the days go on here, and so grow something, become a little bit more self-sufficient. And you can see Donovan there in the background. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day. God bless.